Welcome to the Sports on Pulse. Hi, I'm Gary Al Smith, and in just over 3 hours, or just under 3 hours, depending on what side of the world you are watching us on, we'll be having the draw for the African Cup of Nations. Put in another way, the Black Stars will know who their opponents will be in January's contest in Gabon. The draw will be done in Libreville, the capital of Gabon, and we'll be going there momentarily to give you an update on what the build-up is like. But who would you want to see the Black Stars playing? The three other teams they'll be playing as well. We'll also be going to Egypt to get the perspective from there and also look at the draw in total. Thanks very much for joining us again. First off, let's try and introduce our guest for this discussion. Marwan Saeed is a writer for kinfoot.com, the authoritative website for everything Egyptian football and African football. Marwan, thank you very much for joining us from Cairo.
Thank you for having me, Gary.
Right, so while we wait to go to Libreville to get what's happening there, what is your expectation across the draw for the African Cup of Nations that's going to happen tonight, Marwan?
Well, personally, I expect it to be a very, very exciting draw. Each group, each pot we have has a very good team. All teams that qualified are really good. We can expect anything from any of the teams participating. I would be keeping an eye if we'll get a North African encounter, as Tunisia has the ability to face either Algeria or Egypt. This would be a very, very competitive match. But nonetheless, I think all the groups will be exciting. All teams are good and deserve to be in Gabon 2017.
Fantastic. Gabon is the venue for the African Cup of Nations, and that's where we go next for a live update. Thomas Kwenaite works for Super Sport, and he's there. He's been there for the last 24 hours. Thank you very much, Thomas, for joining us.
Good afternoon, Gary, and to your listeners as well.
Yep, we are on television this time. We are not on radio. The other interview was on radio. This is Joy News Television. Now...
Oh, okay. To your viewers, my apologies.
That's okay. Gabon is ready for the AFCON draw. That's what we've been hearing from everybody. But you are there. Tell us what's going on.
Gary, this morning we went to the stadium, the venue of the draw, of course, and you could see the preparations that have been going on. It might be a little bit late, but they are putting final touches to the draw, which in my view appears to be going to be something of an elaborate extravaganza of Gabonese tradition, culture, and dance. And there were a lot of dancers that were preparing their rehearsing and stuff. And of course, the Secretary General of the Confederation of African Football was there, as well as there were Imran Hisham El Amrani, I beg your pardon, as they were preparing for the draw. I think in about 1.5 hours from now. So we are right now in a cab going back. Unfortunately, we are stuck in heavy traffic. Hopefully, we'll make it on time.
Fantastic. Thomas, let me stay with you. Before this draw, there's so much that has been said about Gabon as the host nation for the African Cup of Nations. And for the benefit of viewers, on August the 27th, Gabon had an election that was heavily disputed. It took a lot of time before the winner was even announced. And even then, we were not sure of what was going on. There was an internet shutdown. Facebook was blocked. Twitter was blocked. And Gabonese people essentially could not browse on the internet. Foreign journalists were prevented from going into the country. And so generally, there was a lot of fear about the African Cup of Nations. Thomas, take us through how you were able to get a visa into Gabon, and when you got into the country, what you saw.
Look, Gary, it is an undeniable fact that, of course, after the local presidential elections, there were allegations and rumors that the results have been hijacked, and there was political violence that took place here in Gabon. And when we arrived, funny enough, everything just went smoothly, and there were CAF officials as well as Gabonese officials who helped us go through customs and all that. And at the same time, though, although I haven't been able to penetrate the city and kind of get the vibe on the ground, how the people are feeling, there is also an undeniable tension that you can detect in the air.
Yeah.
Although, and of course, there's a little bit of a presence, a heavy presence of the army, but we are told that they are here to blockade the precincts around the stadium, the venue where the draw would be. But yes, you're quite right, Gary. So far, nothing that resembles the violence that happened a couple of weeks ago when, in fact, there were rumors that the tournament could actually be taken to either Morocco, Nigeria, or South Africa. It's been good so far, although, yes, I cannot lie to you, there is a heavy presence of the army guys around the city.
Okay, Thomas, stay with us. Let's go back to Cairo, Egypt, where Marwan is listening to everything that we've been talking about. Marwan, from the Egyptian point of view, I know that North Africa has already had several dalliances with this security situation. Morocco, the Ebola situation, and so on and so forth. What have the Egyptian media been saying about Gabon as host of the AFCON?
Actually, you would have been surprised that Egyptian media have not put the light on the political situation in Gabon. I thought maybe there would be more interest in the matters, but the people in Egypt here treated it as if it was normal, maybe because of the situations that we've been through for the past few years. But I would expect, and under normal circumstances, that the media here in Egypt would have made a big deal. But surprisingly, no one did took it into a huge consideration. As you said that there was social media cutout, internet cutout, and stuff like that. But from what I know, everything is back on. The people now in Gabon are communicating in normal fashion again. I've seen pictures before the draw. Gabon looks beautiful. It looks ready. All the pitches look ready to host the nations. I think if the Gabonese people believe that they can host it, then they can. The presence, as my colleague just said, the presence of the army around the city, it's completely normal. I remember when Egypt first had the political turbulence, stuff like that happened. The army was everywhere. But in the end, it's all good.
I have just 1 minute to go. Thomas, let me come back to you finally before I let you go. What will constitute a great draw for you?
Look, Gary, for me, if I could see a Côte d'Ivoire against Cameroon and maybe the DR Congo as well as Uganda in one group, for me, that would be a dream draw. Some might say it could turn out to be a group of death, but for me, it definitely would be a dream draw.
Marwan, let me come to you finally for the mock draw that you would give us. What will constitute a good draw for Egypt before I let you go?
A good draw for Egypt would constitute of Ghana and Egypt, Burkina Faso, and Guinea-Bissau.
We'll see. The draw begins at 5:30. Ghana. You were saying something, sorry?
No.
Okay.
Go
All right, Marwan. So that's a good draw for the Egyptian point of view. Now, the draw begins at 5:30 Ghana time, and we know there will be a show, there will be a speech, and then there will be the draw itself. Stay with us on our various social media platforms. Thomas, thank you very much for joining us from Libreville. And also, Marwan, thank you very much for joining us from Cairo. And if you want more on the build-up, head over to the sports page of myjoyonline.com. That's our social media page, and also on Facebook, Joy Sports, and then on Twitter, we'll be live tweeting it at Joy Sports GH. And these are the ways you can reach us for the entire draw. Anyway, from all of us here in the Paul studio, good luck to the Black Stars. Hopefully they get a good draw. We'll be back later. I'm Gary Al Smith.